Make a drone! A drone? You know what? I was planning on building a simple drone, but do you know what's better than a drone?
But before we build a pet drone, we need to build a normal drone. The first thing we need to do is cut the motors very carefully. And after that, we'll add some lithium batteries very carefully, and we'll stir it as if it weren't an explosive material, and we'll make a fine selection of the battery that has the most discharge capacity. The next ingredient in the recipe is some transistors, and we'll add them to the mixture to taste. We stir it a little, and the next thing on the list of ingredients is... well, I guess we'll follow Grandma's recipe. We'll add some propellers to taste and a few grams of 3D printing. We mix it well, let it get light, throw a plate, serve our mixture, and now we have to put it in the oven. Not for too long. We don't want the lithium battery to get excited and throw fireworks. Oh, I forgot about you, idiot. Okay, now you're probably thinking that the battery turned yellow from putting it in the oven. Well, actually, the battery is here. It's very discharged, and I think it's damaged, so I started charging it manually, but charging it like this is very boring. And since I'm a professional at this, I decided to charge it in the safest way possible, and since safety is paramount, I added some supports. Next on the list of problems is to show you what I did. In short, it's just a chassis that has 4 drone motors, and I printed a custom propeller for each motor. And now that I've charged the battery, I have to check if each motor generates enough thrust to be able to charge itself, and also the battery, and also the battery. So here you see me testing this stupid thing that I just created. Let's say... bonus. And, well, at this point I didn't know why I wasn't flying. Or, well, maybe I do, and I just want to make the video longer, but let's pretend I don't know. After having broken all the propellers, the most normal option would be to give up. But hey, you know, I'm a moron. So I reassembled the propellers and put the battery in, and now with a more robust system, it should fly, right? Okay, now why the hell does he say that if he knows it wouldn't work? Well, it's because many people think that drones are made like this, and why it doesn't work. Well, maybe I've overlooked some little things like a microprocessor, a radio frequency transmitter and receiver, an accelerometer, a Pioco sensor with digital filters, and most importantly, a pit control. And what is this? I don't even have. So I have to read a bunch of PDFs about what pit control is and how to implement it in my drone. Shit! Pit control is... A pit controller is a feedback system that allows drones to correct their position in real time, taking into account the error between the desired orientation and the actual orientation and depth. In other words, it just keeps the drone stable. But how does it do it? The drone detects that it tilts a little, pushes it to the opposite side, and if it goes to the other side again, it does the same thing to the opposite side. And it does this in 3 dimensions all the time. And how will we know that the drone is tilted? This is an SP32. The difference with an Arduino Nano is that this SM has Wi-Fi and other functions that are worth seeing. If I combine this with the accelerometer and program it into Docker, I can make a web page that tells me how much tilt it has and how precise it is. Not much, but it is useful to detect if the drone has tilted a little. What I would have to do is place this sensor completely vertical at the base of the drone, and what the pit control would do is keep the drone at 0 degrees. If it were to go over, it would have to return it. This is achieved by controlling the power of the motors, but right now the sensor with the SP32 is too big for this drone, so I will have to create another one. This is a MOSFET, and with it I will control the power of the motors. And now, why did I decide to make the propellers black and the chassis white? Maybe it's to make it look like someone else, but when I tried it, I realized something. Just one motor was consuming 4 amps, and that means one motor consumes 4 amps. And why is that bad? Because if you know how to multiply, the 4 motors would consume 20 amps, and my battery can barely supply 10 amps before burning out. And then I realized that the motors were damaged because they made this horrible sound. But it's also because the propellers, are very heavy, and also all the propellers are the same, and that's why the drone star is spinning instead of just going up. And now I have 2 options. I buy new motors and propellers, or I buy a damaged drone that comes with motors and propellers. And by the way, it's cheaper than the motors. But you already know what I'm going to choose. Yes, I bought a drone, but I have to remove all unnecessary things from this drone, such as screws, the plastics, the battery, this green plate that is just decorative, and a few other things so that only the chassis and the motors remain. Now we have to rebuild the drone. We're going to put all the electronics back inside. I am not going to bore you by building everything again. So to summarize, I just put the SP32 with the accelerometer module inside the chassis, and after programming for a while, I made a web page to show me how tilted the drone is. But first I have to connect to the internet that the SP32 is broadcasting so I can access the web page. On this web page, each dot represents a motor. The side that tilts is where it grows the most. Or for the pit control, that would be where I should increase the power of the motors to keep it completely stable. And since the signal travels through the internet, I can take it anywhere in my room and never lose connection. Now I have to connect MOSFETs to each of the motors to control them independently with the SP32 and thus stabilize their position. And why can I activate it with my finger? The IRM will put in as very low impedance, which means that if I explain it to you, you're gonna get bored. So let's move on to the next point. That's when I noticed that I did burn the battery before, and now it was draining very quickly, and I didn't even have the power to take it off, and that's why this happened in the first pit control tests, which meant that the battery had drained to critical levels. And then I noticed another problem. The pit control was poorly calibrated and was correcting the angle very quickly, which is why it ended up vibrating. But when I lowered it a little, it seems that I overdid it because now it's doing it very slowly. And there's one last detail. Apparently, someone didn't place the accelerometer completely flat, so the drone always thought it was tilted, and when correcting its angle, it just ended up crashing. But you know what? All I have to do is get a new battery and calibrate the pit control. As you know, when it comes to me, I can probably get it done in a few hours. I'm going to pretend like it hasn't been 3 days, but the drone is now ready for its first flight test. And to make my job easier, I created a web page that only has one button, takeoff land, and just in case things get ugly, but I just hope I don't use it, but all we have to do is press the takeoff button and land it in one piece. It's not the most stable drone possible, but at least it can fly without falling over instantly. And now you're probably wondering, how the hell am I controlling it? So I created another web page to control the drone, but I didn't take into account that the controls were reversed. That's why it almost crashed into me at first. But now I know what you're going to tell me. Dear colleague, I have visualized that the title of the project is called Pet Drone. But up until now, it looks like this is just a regular drone. Could you tell me when the long-promised pet will finally appear? Okay. The first thing to transform this drone into a pet is to know what a pet does. You know, dogs usually respond to signals, such as giving a paw. But this one specifically only does it when I have food. It's like a kind of slaughter machine, except this one is food eater. That's why you're fat. The first gesture that I'm going to implement is going to be the takeoff. And I'm going to do it with a Python code. If I close my hand, I'll send a signal to the SP32 to take off the drone. And if I open it again, it will mean that it has to land. And now that the drone is in the takeoff zone, I would only have to close my fist to make it take off. I consider that test a complete success, but when I continued testing it, I realized that it had a problem that I had been ignoring for a long time. The drone with the pit control does work, but any air current causes the drone to move and end up crashing. And I think that for this to be a pet drone, it has to remain stable in one place, instead of moving and much less crashing. Now I'm sure you're wondering how I'm going to solve it. For this, I need this green paper. And if I stick it to the drone and create a colored radar in Python, then I can know the exact position of the drone while it flies. And now all that's left is to tell the SP32 to control the drone so that the green color is always in the middle of the camera. But obviously this doesn't work on the first try, because sometimes the drone corrects its position with great force and ends up going off screen. And after many attempts, this is how we can have a drone that literally controls itself and stays static in one position, in the most accurate thing in the world, obviously, but at least it no longer crashes. And since we have the drone stabilized, I wanted to add my favorite signal. This signal will be an attack signal. The drone will literally lift up, ramp up, and go in a straight line to crash into the first thing it finds. Snaps. And now maybe I can add a people tracker and turn it into, you know, one of those drones from a country that I don't want to mention, but I think would be a totally unnecessary and immature idea to do. Besides, it would be very boring to program, and it wouldn't be right for me to do something like that. Well, what else? I tell you, brother, thanks for getting to this part of the video. And remember that you can subscribe or give me a like if you like this video. And I also want to thank all the members of the channel for making these videos possible.